Hi everyone, and thank you for coming to my channel. I wanted to go over something that I saw online today about the teen who led locker room attack on the black mentally handicapped classmate. He is avoiding jail. So accordingly it says a high school football player who launched a locker room assault on a black mentally handicapped classmate will not spend any time behind bars. John R.K. Howard, who was 19, was sentenced to 3 years of probation and 300 hours of community service after pleading guilty to a felony injury to a child in December. The Associated Press reported that Howard accepted a modified plea deal where he could maintain innocence but acknowledged the prosecution would have landed a conviction. Him and two other players at Dietrich High School were charged for the October 2015 attack. However, the victim's family identified the 19-year-old as the ringleader, accusing him of kicking a coat hanger up the victim's rectum. That is horrible. That's a horrible thing. He should not have, if that happened, he should not have got off on that. So the teen is the only defendant who had their case heard in adult court. So the others, I guess, were either too young, maybe. The 19-year-old could have that felony conviction dismissed if he successfully completes probation. Oh, and you know he's going to. What he does after that, who knows, but his parents will make sure he successfully completes that. The victim's family filed a $10 million civil lawsuit against the school. They believed the assault was racially motivated in a 4-hour deposition, according to the Times News. The victim said teammates and coaches would call him racial slurs during football. That's horrible. He should have done something about that to begin with. The parents should have done something about that. I guess this is what the boy said. He said just a lot of different name calling, racial name calling, like the N-word and stuff like that. He'd be laughing, he'd be like, "You stupid N-word," and stuff like that. Once I told him I didn't like it, it hurt. Yep, I imagine it did hurt. That's horrible. A recorded conversation appeared to have caught the victim recanting his accusation. Taped by the football coaches Mike Togerson and Rick Astley on May 19th, the teen reportedly said he lied during a preliminary hearing because his father said they'll move to the Bahamas if they win the suit. I wonder if he did lie. That would be interesting. The town of Dietrich should not have to suffer for this, the victim allegedly said on the recording. It was never my intentions. It was just all them, all my parents. I was fed lies, and I said it, and I signed it because I was pressured. Now, that's highly possible, especially since he has a mental illness. They say often children say what we tell them to say. However, the victim recanted the confession in a February 17 deposition, claiming he said what coaches and friends wanted to hear. Now, what I don't understand is that he's recanting that it didn't happen, or is he recanting that it ever happened? It's a little bit confusing for me. Maybe y'all can let me know what you think that means. The victim also has tried to kill himself multiple times since the October 2015 incident. According to court documents obtained by The Guardian, since then, he's been hospitalized and lives in an assisted living facility. So he's not even with his parents. That's pretty serious. Howard's attorney, Brad Calbo, maintained the case didn't have to do with race or rape. Calbo said the victim backed up towards Howard with a hanger between his buttocks and his client mistakenly kicked it. Now, if that's how it happened, I've never been in a locker room with boys, but I know they're pretty stupid sometimes. If that is how it happened, the guy meant to kick it, regardless. He thought he was being funny. Though a medical examination found that the victim's rectum had no internal or external injuries, a school district investigation determined that it was more than likely that he was sexually assaulted with a hanger. Now, how can you determine that if he had no injuries? If you're sexually assaulted with a hanger, you're going to know it. I don't know. I'd like to know what made them decide he had been raped like that. The racist stuff, it's not there, Calbo commented. They're absurd allegations. This has all been blown out of proportion for the pursuit of money. The civil suit is expected to be heard this summer. Now that's very interesting. Now, it is probably locker room antics. Boys will be boys. Not a good terminology, but sometimes that's how it happens. And if they're acting a fool and they're doing stupid stuff, then yeah, that could happen. But either way, that's an assault. He kicked him. There's no reason to kick him. So, as for the $10 million civil lawsuit, I don't think they'll get that much from the school. They might get something, but I don't think they're going to get that much unless they can prove it was racially motivated. But since it was not a hate crime, or deemed a hate crime, let's put it that way, then I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But, I don't know. What do you think happened? Do you think that they were just playing around and they chose to play with someone who is mentally handicapped and the parents took advantage of this? Or do you think that there had been a lot of times that he was being called the N-word and it was all racially motivated? It'll be interesting to hear what you have to say. So, yeah, so please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. And